सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ओम शांति शांति शांति। ओम सदाशिवसमारंभां शंकराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं। शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम्। समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम्। Hari Om, salutations to all. So Shubha Chinmay Amrit Mahotsav Varsh. This is 75th year of Chinmay movement and an year to express gratitude to Puja Gurudev, to take his vision and work forward. And many interesting, inspiring programs are there this whole year. So opportunity to take part in them, to serve, volunteer, purify our mind. 15th chapter we were studying and we saw that there are 4 broad divisions in this 15th chapter, where we saw the first broad division about 5 verses is about samsara, how to get out of samsara. Next 5 verses is about the jiva. Next 5 verses, so first 5, then 6 to 10, then 11 to 15. These are about the immanent nature of Bhagwan, how Bhagwan is pervading everywhere. And not only in the world outside but even in the heart. And the last 5 will be 16 to 20, they will talk about the transcendental nature of Bhagwan. So in this we have seen the third set of 5 verses. In that Bhagwan said that how he only becomes the sun and the moon and the stars, etc., and gives light, illumination, as well as we find he becomes the earth, produces that vital energy with which we function. He only has become the food by which we get the energy. He only is the Vaishvanar Agni in us. And so the whole process of how as the sun and the moon he enlivens the earth, and then the Aushadhis, the food, how he only becomes the food, how he only digests the food, everything is Narayana. That vision of totality one gets, and the bhav comes that all this is divine. Then he goes on to say in 15th one also that Sarvasya Chaham Hridi Sannivishtaha. I am in the hearts of all the beings. Even if one contemplates just on this one line, Sarvasya Chaham Hridi Sannivishtaha, Bhagwan is in my heart, which means each and every one is divine. Never are we alone. Toughest of situations can come in life, but if I remember Bhagwan is with me, I will have the strength to deal with it. If one feels lonely, unloved, one should remember Bhagwan is in my heart and Bhagwan loves me as I am. I can keep improving. And from Jnana Marg standpoint, we are not seeking someone out there, something out there abstract. Right here in our heart as Aham, 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 this consciousness is throbbing. Not only in one's heart but in the hearts of all the beings. Sarvasya chaham hridi sannivishtaha. So this is the bhav, and that one understands that if Bhagwan is if I am one with Bhagwan, then it is only ignorance that is a veil between me and the divine. That has to be removed. Bhagwan says the next line, Matta smriti jnanam apohanam cha. From me is memory, then knowledge and forgetfulness. So Gurudev gives a very nice explanation for this, where he says that memory is the experiences of our, memory is the storehouse of our experiences of the past, and it guides the activities in the present and helps us to build our future. So one part is that memory, smriti. Then in the present, Gurudev says, is a jnanam. Based on my past, how I respond, I am influenced by that, no doubt, but in the present I can also attain knowledge. My memory may say a certain way to respond, but in the present when I gain the right knowledge, I can respond in a different way. That free will we have as human beings. And so Gurudev says that reacting properly to the present sets of stimuli and thereby gaining fresh and vivid experiences is the process of widening our field of knowledge. One is memories of the past. Second is in the present, how I am using them. Should I get influenced or should I not get influenced by them? And put in that effort in the present to acquire knowledge, experience, whatever I am seeking. And in that process there is forgetfulness also, which is important. So he says acquisition of new knowledge presupposes our capacity to give up our false notions. Like right now, if we are listening that Bhagwan is in my heart, then I should have that capability to let go of that feeling of nobody lives with me, I am alone, I am lonely, nobody loves me. Arey, Bhagwan loves you as you are. So many things around are there, are expression of the love of Bhagwan only. So in the light of my new knowledge, what I am gaining right now, I should be able to drop, forget, let go of the past wrong notions. My memory may say that people didn't treat me well, so I feel lonely. But in the present I have free will. Now I am listening to this knowledge. And if I let go of the wrong notion, then I am applying all the three. Smritihi, Jnanam, Apohanam. This is a continuous process in life actually. Every minute we are influenced by the past and we can choose what the future we want to create by the present moment. This is one way to understand, and this can apply to thoughts, emotions, goals, behavior of people, relationships, everywhere. That I am not a victim of my past memories. I should use memories for taking right decisions. Certain good memories I can learn, I can repeat, strengthen that behavior. Certain bad memories of certain actions which I have done which may be hurtful, harmful, then I remember so that I don't repeat them. Memory is a tool for the present to become polished, that's all. If one lives in the past and loses out on present, then that is where one is misusing the memory. Many times one just relives old days, old memories, old things. Nothing wrong in remembering. But if I lose touch with the reality and I live in that, then there will be only waste of time. And there can be, memories can also fuel future desires. Suppose I enjoyed something very nicely, now I remember, then my desire will be, I should again repeat that. Can happen, not necessarily will, but can happen. Sometimes we are able to fulfill the desire, sometimes it won't happen. We may not be able to fulfill, then we will be in regret. Kya achhe din the, now look at our condition. You know, so memory can make a person completely lose touch with the present, or it can be a tool to work in the present for a great future, to make the best in the present moment. The purpose of memory is only that. One is to learn from the past and to live in the present. Memory should not be an excuse to escape from the present. Memory is helpful to remember Bhagwan's name. So Smriti means that remember Bhagwan's name, remember what are the essential things. That jnanam, which is very important for us to know about ourselves, who am I, about dharma, about what is the purpose of life, that jnanam I should hold on to, and memory should help me to strengthen that jnanam. How? By ensuring that that memory serves me in the present, to hold on to live that higher way of life. For example, if that sudden temptation comes, chalo, it's all right, you can break some rule, do some adharma, or do some, discipline you don't need to follow. Then the memory of what my teacher has said should come to me, saying, no, my teacher said don't do this. You know, the meaning of the word dharma is that which prevents our fall. Dharana, that which helps me to hold on to the higher way of living and prevents my fall, that is called dharma. So my guru gave me the knowledge of dharma, my guru gave the knowledge of Brahma, my guru told me to live in self-control, my guru said happiness is not in the world outside, do your duties, don't escape from it. All this my teacher taught. Now I remember that. So that in the present, because of some temptation, some distraction, some past vasana also arising, it could be anything. It could be a past vasana which is again one form of the past only. Or it can be some present distraction, what I am seeing, hearing, tasting, smelling, touching through senses. Some emotion rising, looking at some things. If it is taking me away from spirituality, from dharma, making me fall, then my memory should come to my rescue saying, don't do this, move towards Gyan, don't move towards adharma. So these three are very important, memory, knowledge and forgetfulness. And I should learn to let go. Forgetfulness, apohanam is forgetfulness, and by implication it is ability to drop. However tempting that situation may be, one should be able to drop, saying no, that is not what I have chosen, that is not where I want to go. That path will lead me down to the wrong destination. I don't want to reach there. If I do wrong, I will end up in papa karma. I will end up in suffering. I don't want suffering. I choose to live consciously a sattvic life, positive life, happy life, productive life, service-oriented life. That's what I want to choose. Mind may tempt. People may pressurize. There may be some past vasana, anything can arise, but knowledge in the present helps me. As well as memory of the past also I can utilize, saying ki earlier also I have compromised, have I not seen the consequences of that. So how I use memory and my knowledge is dependent on me. Purushartha I can do by using memory and knowledge properly. Otherwise I can become their victim. And if I do these two properly, then I will be able to let go. The third one will also happen. However tempting something may be, I will be able to drop it. However some regret may be of the past, I will say no, that is taking me away from the present. I am going to drop it, let go. Nowadays what people say, when relationships become toxic, then you drop. If you have tried your best, it is not working, it is hurting, harming, leave. Don't have to hang on in toxic relationships. Same way, some negative thought pattern, some wrong things I have done, knowingly, unknowingly, whatever it may be, I learn to drop, let go, apohanam. So Bhagavan says all this happens from me. Mattaha smritihi jnanam apohanam cha, meaning consciousness is that which enlivens. From the highest standpoint we say consciousness enlivens this antakarana, mind, intellect, memory, ego, this play. Consciousness only enlivens, it doesn't get affected by any of that, and I am that consciousness. So that's the highest standpoint. Second, we can say from Ishvara standpoint also, Bhagavan. This ability in the buddhi is there to remember, memory, is because of the presence of the divine, because of Ishvara. Why? Because all our minds put together is Ishvara. And that mind is functioning because of the totality. There is no existence of an individual mind separate. It is one mind. All our minds are connected. That's a higher vision of life. Which is why so many great Mahatmas says that there is nothing called original thought. If you think it is your own thought, unless consciousness enlivens, unless grace of Ishvara is there, that thought will not even arise. And before that arises, Ishvara knows it. It is happening by Ishvara's grace actually. In fact, today some of the scientists even go to the extent of saying that we do not think thoughts. Thoughts arrive to us. It's very stunning. Which rishis have been saying for ages. Now they are discovering it, which is great. That there is a whole field, and whatever you set your mind to, those thoughts will enter your mind. So thoughts come to us. Vedanta has been saying that ki vasanas are unmanifest, and those unmanifest vasanas manifested. These are in the intellect, thoughts and emotions in the mind, actions at the body level. It goes on. So it is Ishwar's kripa that there is memory. We are able to recollect. Ishwar's kripa that one is able to gain knowledge of any subject. Also you can apply, but specifically here the knowledge of the self, knowledge of how to evolve, of how to let go of my false identification. That also is Ishvara's kripa that satsang comes into life, some guru comes, some text comes, properly I understand. Then I am able to have that purushartha, yes, I will live this higher way of life. That is also kripa of Ishvara. And apohanam, the ability to let go all false identification, causes of sorrow, attachments, ignorance. I should be able to drop, apohanam. That's why he says mattaha smritihi jnanam apohanam. If we say it is all because of me, then ego will come. And the fact is it is not because of us. We forget our connection to the totality, that's why we suffer. Smriti jnanam apohanam, all happen by Ishvara kripa. In fact, if you go deeper, one of the interpretations also is memory of past lives, knowledge in the present life, as well as forgetfulness of the past lives is all by grace of Bhagavan. Means what? For some people, you must have seen many examples of children who are able to recollect their past life, and they'll say, I was such and such person in this and this place, take me to that place, these are my family members, this is the things I achieved, and they are able to tell so many things. In common person, the memory gets reorganized at the time of death, and then so the recollection of the past is not so much and not so vivid. But in some, it is, they can tell exactly. So smriti can mean that jnanam is in the present moment, whatever knowledge I am acquiring is kripa of Bhagavan, secular, sacred, whatever knowledge. And apohanam is in this context, one meaning is that forgetfulness of the past life is also because of Bhagavan's grace. Lucky that he did not allow us to remember all our past lives and who we were in which life and who was our relative and who was our spouse and friend and father, mother. My God, imagine if one knows all those people now where they are in this world right now. What chaos there will be. This one life, one body identification, and that we have created memories, tensions, worries, anxieties, so many things that we are not able to let go. Suppose I come to know what was my form in which life, who all were responsible, who all were with me, what all I was responsible for. In the present one will get confused. How do I act now? So if there is no remembrance of past lives, it is very good. No need to go. People do try, if they have their own valid reasons to do it, let them try. But Vedanta doesn't encourage, don't go into past life regression. This life itself we have to drop the body identification and jiva bhav. Why will I want to go into the past? No, some of the traumas and some of the problems, the cause is in the past. So I should go into the past. See, honestly, that has its own impact and benefit. People may do, no doubt, nothing wrong with it. But actually, even if you come to know the past, what are you going to do? You're going to accept it only, no? Okay, this happened. Then I can deal with it in the present. It is only giving me that strength. If I have Shraddha that whatever I am going through is because of Bhagwan's Kripa and he knows what is the best for me, at the right time Karma Phala is coming, I deal with it objectively, bas. Prasada Buddhi. Then nothing more is required. I don't have to go into past lives. If that was so important, Bhagwan would not have made this forgetfulness happen, no? He would have given the past life memory to everybody. Chalo, remember all your past lives. Fourth chapter also Bhagwan says, no? Bahuni me vyatitani janmani tavacha Arjuna tanyaham veda sarvani natvam vetha parantapa. He says many lives we have taken, Arjun, you and me both. Of course there Bhagwan takes avatar, there is no punarjanma for Bhagwan, he is not prompted by karma and vasanas. Jiva is prompted by karma and vasana. But the shloka there says that Bhagwan says Tanyaham Veda Sarvani. He says, I know all of them because he is Ishvara. Ishvara knows the lives of all the jivas and yet is unaffected. Natvam Veta Parantapa. He says, you don't remember, but you have also taken many bodies. Why is he saying that? Just to make him aware that you are not going to finish off all these people, they are not going to get fully destroyed. Only their body will drop, their jiva continues, they will take new bodies. Like you have taken, I have taken. So many times one has taken bodies. As per what? One's prarabdha karma, whatever is ready to fructify from Sanchit. Take body as per that. When one takes a new body, then Bhagwan ensures that okay, the person has a new chance to get out of the cycle of karma. But if that person doesn't take that chance and wants to remember past lives and wants to live only in the past, then what can Bhagwan do? Nothing can be done. He gave an opportunity. Because finally, what is there to remember? Asare samsare. Nahi bhajan dure jadadhyam. Shankaracharya says in Shivananda Lahari. This samsara is asara. And in that I have forgotten to take your name. And I am running behind this samsara. What is there to remember? No, this happened, that happened, it was so glorious time we spent. Okay, one wants to recollect. But what will it do now? Even if I remember my past life, whatever I was in my past life, how does it matter now? If one has time to do entertainment, karo. If one wants some kind of a solution to some problem, theek hai, that medically one wants to do something, go ahead and do. But otherwise there is no use of me knowing what was my last birth, Swamiji. I am very curious to know. Why? In the present, use the knowledge what one is getting of understanding what is dharma and adharma, what is goal of life, goal in life, what is good and pleasant, what is right and wrong, and then apply it. Bas. In that process, let go of any wrong notions. That's it. So, luckily, Bhagwan has ensured that we don't remember our past lives. Though by his grace, one can go into the past, smriti one can go into. But Bhagwan doesn't encourage that. As well as you can put effort now to gain knowledge. And the life of the past. Bhagwan says no need to remember all this. You just focus now to realize whatever is your goal and pay effort, pay attention to that. That's all. Don't try to go into past lives and this happened and that happened. If it has to come, you will know. If it doesn't have to come, leave it. Because there is no Sara there. Because it's already over, finished. You can't change that. But if I learn to accept it, I can change my present. So, matta smriti jnanam apohanam cha. Memory may we use it well. Jnanam may we use it well. Memory should not create further desires. Jnanam should not create ahankar. So both these I have to let go. Apohanam. Then what does he say? Mat Sarvasya chaham vriddhi sannivishtaha matta smritihi jnanam apohanam cha vedaischa sarvaihi ahameva vedya. Through all the Vedas, sarvaihi can mean all the Vedas, vedaihi cha sarvaihi. But vedaihi itself means plural, all Vedas. Sarvaihi means all the other scriptures also. So, by the Vedas, by all the other scriptures like Purana, Itihasa, all the other Darshan Shastras, through everything, what has to be done? Main purpose of studying all that is what? Bhagavan says, Vedaischa sarvaihi ahameva vedya. I alone am to be known. People can do anything. They will study Veda to understand what type of plants were existing in the Vedic times. ठीक है, पढ़ो. What type of social setup was there in the Vedic times? Okay. I mean, nothing wrong in studying any of this. But what is the essence? Why should one study the scripture? Scripture is to know me. Who am I truly? Scripture is to walk the path of dharma so that I can realize the true I, the infinite consciousness. That's the main purpose of Shastra. Otherwise one will get caught in any intellectual argumentation, putting forth this is the only correct method, others are wrong. No need of all that. What will happen even if you are right and everybody is wrong? How? What will it do? I still remain a jiva only. Veda is saying, Arey, you are infinite Brahman. And what is preventing me from realizing it if I am already that? Is my ignorance, my attachments, my extrovertedness. So Veda says control all that. Because the purpose of study of the scriptures, in fact purpose of whole evolution, work, family, social responsibility, every single thing that I am doing is for this only. What? Realize that Aham Brahmasmi, my nature is Paramananda. Unnecessarily I am seeking it outside. So Bhagavan says, Vedaischa sarvaihi ahameva vedya. I alone am to be known. Eva is used, not even aham api vedya. I am also to be known. People study the Veda to know about world, when they are supposed to know what? Brahman. See, nothing wrong in knowing about the world, but that is not the purpose. Science in Veda. Okay, sun, moon, stars, gravity, this, that, everything is there. You can explain, you can explore. But that's not the main purpose. Purpose is that external knowledge about external things. There are other fields, other subjects, other books which will tell you all that, and much more detail also they can tell. Purpose of Veda is to make my mind purified, unified and transcended. That's all we need. Veda is meant for that. Purify, unify, transcend the mind. That's it. Veda is sarvai aham eva vedya. Bhagavan says, I alone am to be known. In fact, through all our experiences, work, study, family, everything, I have to know only one truth. That's all. We are trying to please this person, that person, run behind this, get that job, get this promotion, get this contract. ठीक है, for what? I want Paramananda. Where is that? Not out there, it is here. And that same truth is in the hearts of all. Sarvaihi aham eva vedya. Bhagavan says, I alone am to be known. And how strange it is. Bhagavan ko chhod ke baki everything one is trying to know. And ulta, one is sometimes denying Bhagavan's existence also. Either one has not studied properly, or one has studied, not reflected enough, and then one is having some wrong notions. So then one is using the Veda only to condemn or even reject the concept of God, or the Bhagwan's existence itself one refutes. And Bhagwan says study of the Veda is that if I study whole Ramayana and I don't have bhakti towards Bhagwan Ram, what Ramayana have I studied? I may know some story, I can intellectually argue, but I don't have appreciation for who Ram is, what Sita ji is, what Tyag they did, how tapasya they lived, how selfless was their life. What is the purpose of studying so much of Ramayana? This Ramayana says this, that Ramayana says that. But do you have Ram Bhakti? No. No, Swamiji, but I am Ishtadevata, my Ishtadevata is Shiva, I have Shiva Bhakti. Okay, doesn't matter, at least Shiva Bhakti is there. Ramji's Katha Shivji only is saying in Tulsi Ramayana, Parvati Mata, and to her Bhagwan Shiva is only saying. So, point is what? Study of the Veda is to know Bhagwan. And this knowledge was given to children right when the time they get, even before they get into study of Veda, the Janev Samskar, the Upanayana Samskar that is done, is to remind the child that you are divine and Gayatri Mantra will help the buddhi to become sharp, and you are praying for the well-being of all the creatures. Everybody's buddhi should be sharp. So that prayer itself is a universal prayer. Why? Because then you become more sharp, subtle, caring, sensitive, selfless, and realize through the study of the scriptures that my nature is Paramananda. Why am I running outside? Then do the duties required, no doubt, but don't forget the essence. So 25 years or what, the time of Gurukul, about 18 to 20 years Gurukul time, 8 years, latest by 8 years, between 6 and 8 the Upanayana Samskar should happen. Then up to 20 to 22, whatever that age, they stay with the teacher and they learn. Big picture of life becomes clear. Veda ischa sarvai aham eva vedya. This is what you have to know having come in this human form. One may acquire wealth, money, power, position, prestige, all that, and that won't come with us. Yes, that mind which has cultivated all this, that same mind will come, and whatever as per karma I need to get back in that new body, I will get also. Not that we will lose everything. But what is going to come with us is only that. And till I don't realize that oneness with the Absolute, this cycle of birth and death will go on. So if one has thought through clearly, then Bhagavan says, Vedaischa sarvaihi aham eva vedya. Because that only is permanent, everything else is coming, going, temporary. How much one will hold on to that? Body or people or money or power, it goes on. Today it is with me, tomorrow it will be with somebody else. Then why should I cling on to that? Because when it was with me, I did not understand the power of detachment. This is only a thing, it is required for utility value, it has something to, it can be name, power, position, whatever it may be, it is a tool to serve, to purify, to realize the self. Beyond that, one has to rise above it. Beyond that, there is nothing more value to that. It's only a tool, equipment, body, mind, intellect, things, power, name, fame, all equipment only, that's it. This jnanam is important. That's why he says the jnanam comes from him. And the purpose of that knowledge, what we saw earlier, the memory, smriti, jnanam, apohanam, is to know the self. So he says, sarvaihi vedaihi ahameva vedya. I alone am to be known. And when one knows that, one realizes all this is expression of that one only. There is no two, there is no three, there is no four, there is no duality. Vedaischa sarvaihi ahameva vedya. Then he says, Vedanta Krit. I am the creator of the Veda. Especially Vedanta, Bhagavan says. Veda itself is revelation of Bhagavan. It is not human composition. Vyasa literally means to compile, and Veda Vyasa means one who compiled the Veda. That's why he got Veda Vyasa title. Otherwise his name is Krishna Dvaipayana Vyasa. He was dark in color, born on an island to Parashar Rishi and Satyavati. His actual name is Krishna Dvaipayana. Then he compiled the Vedas, classified them into Karma Kand, Upasana, Jnana Kand, classified the entire Vedic literature into 4: Rig, Yajur, Sama, Atharva. Some people say only Trayi Vedyam, even Gita says 3. Because the mantras are arranged in such a way that one group is called Rig, Yajur and then Sama. Atharva Veda is not a different Veda. The categorization is done in a certain way where 3 Vedas cover all the knowledge. Then some people also added one same thing, little more, a little different classification. They made it 4. But what is the point? All this is to know what? Aham Brahmasmi. Vedaischa sarvaihi ahameva vedya Vedanta krit. Veda anta. End portion of the Veda is called Vedanta. And that Vedanta is what? In some ways one can also say Vedanta is Bhedanta. भेद का अंत, जीव जगत जगदीश्वर का जो भेद है उसका अंत जो करेगा वो है वेदांत. Vedanta is equal to Vedanta. And how will you realize that Vedanta? You become Vedant. Dant is symbol of, in some ways, hardness, ego, and it will drop at some point, but the soft, gentle tongue remains throughout life. So become humble, drop the ego, then this Vedanta will happen. The division of Jiva Jagat Jagdishwara will end. So Bhagavan says here, Vedanta Krit, I am the creator of the Veda. No, Swamiji, but we thought Adi Shankaracharya is a proponent of Veda. He is the founder of Advaita Vedanta. He is not founder of Advaita Vedanta. Advaita Vedanta as a philosophy existed even before him. Gaudapada Acharya ji, his Param Guru, has written commentary on Mandukya. Upanishads talk about Advaita. He is one of the greatest propagators of Advaitic philosophy, but he is not the founder. Same way Madhvacharya, of Advaita and Vishishta Advaita is Ramanujacharya. They are not founders of that philosophy. That philosophy has been there in the Vedas, Puranas. They are some of the most prominent propagators of that philosophy. But who created all this? Bhagavan says, I have created. Vedanta Krit. Vedavit eva chaham. Bhagavan says, the knower of it in its true sense also is me only. Vedanta Krit. Vedavid eva chaham. Why Bhagavan is only the knower? Because first and foremost, Bhagavan is not an object. Consciousness is not an object to be known by somebody else. Like this phone is an object, book is an object, keyboard is an object. So I the knower and the object the known. The knower contacts the known, the experience of the known will happen. Suppose I am seeing this computer. So the I, the knower, Mr. So and so, through the I is seeing this computer, knowledge is rising. Now in that I remain separate and the knowledge of the self I have attained, knowledge of that computer I have attained. Here it is different. Who is this I? That I is nothing but consciousness only identifying with one body. So who is the knower? The real knower is consciousness. And what is to be known is not an object separate from this, like the computer is separate from me, but consciousness is not separate from me. Bhagavan already said, Sarvasya Cham Hridi Sannivishta. Which means without Bhagavan there is nothing, no existence I have. As existence, Bhagavan is with me. As consciousness, my nature is to illumine. Ananda is my blissful nature. That is there, my Swarupa. Now that knowledge is of the, not like some objective knowledge. It is the knowledge of the truth only, which is infinite. It's not like the knower will remain separate after that. This truth is infinite, which includes the knower. So who came to know? Gurudev always used to say, Narayana alone knows Narayana. Nobody can know Narayana. Narayana alone knows Narayana. Why? Because Narayana is not an object to be known. He is the subject and beyond that also. So Bhagavan says, Vedavid eva chaham. The knower of the Veda also is me, meaning the knower of this essential oneness of the indicated by Veda, that also is Bhagavan. Vedaischa sarvai aham eva vedya. Through all the Vedic study, I am only to be known as consciousness or as Ishvara. Then Vedanta Krit, I am the creator of this Vedanta, and this is the knowledge which I have to gain, which will tell me that Bhagavan is in your heart as yourself, not as something else. If Bhagavan is in my heart, that means Bhagavan is small and heart is big, technically speaking. But it is not like Bhagavan is some small little thing inside the physical heart. No. Vedanta Krit. He is the subject, the consciousness which enlivens the mind, intellect, senses, world. And that has to be known. So that's what he says, Vedaischa sarvaihi aham eva vedyaham. And Vedanta Krit, I am the creator of this Vedanta, I have revealed this knowledge, and through that knowledge you will drop all the wrong notions and you will realize that I and you are one. So who is the knower at that time? The waker and dreamer. Waker wakes up, the dream character wakes up and becomes one with the waker. Then there are not two, there is only one. So who came to know the waker? No, somebody, the dream character, no, the dream character came to know the waker. No, waker only came to know that I am the waker. I am not the dream character. I am not the things in the dream. I am not the dream world. That whole thing was illusory, gone. So he says, Vedavideva chaham. Again he says, only I am the knower, not anybody else. Vedavid eva chaham. Which is why if somebody thinks that this self-knowledge is like anything else, it is not. That's why it can't be given to anybody. It is not some apple I can give to somebody. It is not some kind of a theory that can be just passed on and somebody memorizes it. Nothing. One can learn textbooks of Vedanta, but until one introspects, drops the false identification through nididhyasan, it will not arise. And when it arises, who is the real knower? This Mr. So-and-so is a false identity. That has to be dropped. Then one will realize, I am that infinite consciousness. So who came to know consciousness? Infinite consciousness. Consciousness only woke up to realize I was only all this. Like the waker realizes, I only became the dream character, dream worlds, everything in the dream creator. Now that I have woken up, these three have disappeared. So, Vedanta Krit, Veda Videva Chaham. Bhagavan says, I am only the knower of the Veda also. So, this concludes the third section of 5 verses. He started from by saying that Yadaditya Gatam Teja Jagad Bhasayate Khilam till this verse. From outer world to inner equipment, Bhagavan has said everything is divine. Just drop the false identification that you are this body, you are the jiva, then realize the truth. Now the last section of 5 verses is where he speaks about 3 types of Purushas. Kshara Purusha, Akshara Purusha, Uttam Purusha. And it is behind this Uttam Purusha that this chapter is also called Purushottama Yoga. So what does he say? Dvavimau purushau loke ksharaschaksara evacha ksharas sarvani bhutani kutasthokshara uchyate. See, the world is a temporary, changing, finite, perishing world. So Bhagavan says here, there are 2 Purushas in this world. 2 Purushas meaning, Purusha here is not man. What is the meaning of Purusha here? Purusha here is this being. Again, limitation of language. Consciousness only actually, but one says that 2 levels of this consciousness are there. Dvavimau Purushau Loke, in this world. What? Ksharascha Akshara Evacha. Kshara Purusha, which is all this perishable world. This also Purusha only, this also consciousness only. And one is Akshara Purusha. Who is that Akshara Purusha? The witness in us. What was said earlier, no, in the 13th chapter? Idam shariram kaunteya kshetramithyavidhiyate etadyo veti tam prahuhu kshetragnya iti tadvidaha. This body includes not only physical body but subtle body, causal body, all this plus all the world outside. What is it? This is Kshara, perishable, the field. Kshetra was said there, here Kshara Purusha it is. Both are same. With reference to that which is perishable, Bhagavan says there is one imperishable truth, meaning the Sakshi. As long as there is the world, there is the BMI, then there is a witness which is observing all this, it is coming, going, functioning as per Vasana, it remains unaffected. So, one who understands that, this is everything is perishable, but there is a imperishable truth which is untouched, unaffected by any of this. In fact, on the substratum of that, all these changes happening. It is changeless. That is the meaning here. Dvavima Purusha Loke Ksharascha Akshara Evacha. Kshara Purusha, Akshara Purusha. What are these two? Kshara Sarvani Bhutani. All these beings and this whole external world, including this BMI, is Kshara, perishable. Kutastha Akshara Uchyate. Akshara is that witness, imperishable truth. A witness should not be involved in that, then it is not witness, then it is a part of the Kshara Purusha. Witness is quiet observation of what is, awareness, observation, whatever you call. Whatever is happening to this BMI plus the world outside, observe. That observer is imperishable, untouched, unaffected, doesn't fluctuate as per the age of the body. Sakshi is there same. As a small child also Sakshi was there. As a teenager Sakshi is there. Youngster Sakshi is there. Old age Sakshi. Every stage witness will remain the same. The nature of the witnessed, the object will change. Body will become young, old, tall, dark, young, handsome, thin. Mind will become happy, sad, loving, kind, compassionate, cruel, angry, whatever. And buddhi will become successful, capitalist, believer, non-believer, goal-oriented, ambitious, whatever it may be. These attributes of the body, mind, intellect will keep changing. I am not that, I am the witness. So with reference to witness which is imperishable, the BMI, the OET, PFT, body, mind, intellect, perceiver, feeler, thinker, object, emotions and thought, that is all Kshara Purusha. It is perishing. Not perishable, perishing. Now, every second, every single moment, as we are seeing also it has perished. Drashta nashta svabhava, Shankara says. So, Kshara sarvani bhutani kutastha. Kutastha is the anvil, that will remain the same. It doesn't change. In the center of the wheel, that will remain the same. Axle, that remains the same, right? The wheel will rotate around it. Same way in the anvil, that ornament is shaped, anvil remains the same, kutastha, it doesn't change. That gold became now a necklace or a chain or a nose ring or whatever it may have become, on that he has made, but nothing happens to that anvil. Kutastha. This much is easy to understand. Dvavima Purusha Loke Ksharascha Akshara Evacha Kshara Sarvani Bhutani Kutastho Uchyate. In the individual it is the Sakshi, and individual can experience it only through that. No other way for individual to experience. The Kutastha, the changeless witness in me. And every minute I have a choice. Should I identify with the witness or with the change? Swamiji, can I do both? Witness the changing also and be abiding as a witness. You have to abide in one. If I am carried away by the changing, can't happen. Even if I am focused and cautious and enjoying, but I have the bhav ki I am the bhogi, then again one has missed out. BMI is doing this, I am a witness. Every time one should remind. No, Swamiji, if we do that, our enjoyment will become lesser. If I am eating ice cream and I say, oh, I am only witness, I am not this enjoyer, I am not the taste, I am not the tongue, I am not this such a lovely pleasure I am getting. I am a witness of all this. छा पूरा मजा किरकिरा हो गया. We should just eat the ice cream, मजा करो. करो, no problem. At some point when one has got vairagya saying anityam asukham lokam, this is all temporary. Even while one is eating, one is observing, I am a sakshi, this BMI is responding in this way. Same thing with money, power, position, everything one can watch, observe, play of the prakriti is going on. Sometimes I get something, sometimes I lose something. It will go on as per prarabdha. And if one wants to put in effort, ambition, goal, success, achieve, no problem, achieve. But understand that is all a part of Kshara Purusha. And if I know it is a part of Kshara Purusha, if it goes, I may feel sad if I lose some person who is loving to me, very dear to me, or if I lose some, money, power, name, each one may feel lesser because one lost. But even remember this, one says it was bound to, it is a part of perishable world. Now accept it, it happened. Now how to face it? Move on. So Kshara Purusha is perishable world, perishing world, including the BMI, and Akshara Purusha is the witness of that. So in the individual it is a witness. In the universe out there, it is a substratum of everything which is changing. That is the changeless substratum. This much is easy to understand. Now Bhagavan says beyond these two there is one more Purusha. That is only complicated. Uttama Purushastvanyah Paramatmetyudahritah Yo Lokatrayamavishya Bibhartyavyaya Ishvaraha. Please remember this, Bibhartyavyaya Ishvaraha. So many people chant Bibhartavyaya Ishvaraha, Bibhartavyaya Ishvaraha. Bibhartavyaya nahi hai wo, Tyavyaya. It is conjunct consonant. Bibhartya Vya. So, what does Bhagavan say? Uttama Purushastu Anya. Supreme Purusha is beyond these two, Kshara Purusha, Akshara Purusha. What is it called? Paramatmetu Darutai. That is the Paramatma. Acha Swamiji, that is the Paramatma. No, then this one, Akshara Purusha is the Atma. Now this Atma and Paramatma will become one. No, it is that Paramatma only identifying with one equipment which has become the Jiva. So we are saying, no, you are not the Jiva, come to Sakshi. When one understands the nature of Sakshi, Satchidananda, that is the nature of Paramatma. There are not two different things. In fact, these three Purushas are not three. They are one Purusha only appearing in three levels. That's all. I will come to that. First, let us understand what is Uttama Purusha. He says Uttam Purusha is beyond these two. Kshara Purusha, Akshara Purusha, beyond these two. Meaning what? So Gurudev has given very nice analogy here. So he says that with reference to my own children alone, I am really known as a father. With reference to my duty or status, I may have yet another name. Similarly, the imperishable is a status and a dignity gained by the spirit only with reference to the perishable. The field of the perishable around and about it, through which it manifests as the various expressions of life. When my children have died or I am dismissed from my job, I no more am a father, nor can I do any more claim for my earlier official post. How does this apply here? This Uttam Purusha is different from Kshara and Akshara Purusha. Why? Because the Kshara Purusha, as long as it is there, the perishable world, perishing world, so long I say I am a witness, I am a witness, I am witness. When I say I am a witness, my attachment to perishing world reduces. I am strengthening witness bhav. I remain untouched, unaffected, whatever happens. Meaning BMI can do its own responses. Not that, oh, I am now witness now, so no emotion, nothing, no fear, no enjoyment, no happiness, no sadness. No. Why? I am only a witness. Nothing affects me. It is not like that. While all that mind is going through, I am aware. Like how physically we are aware. Body, posture, attitude, whatever is one hungry feeling, one becomes aware of this body needs. Like that one will be aware. But one knows I am different from this. So as long as there is perishing, there is a perishable. As long as there is perishable world, there is one imperishable witness. If I learn to withdraw from all the perishable and stay as the Sakshi alone, Sakshi Bhav sadhana if I do, then what will happen? After some time the perishing disappears. It is not there only. There is nothing more to witness. Why? Because I did not sustain that perishing through my feeding. You know, the cradle, if you go on swinging the cradle, it will keep swinging. If you leave it, it will come back to steadiness. Our mind is also like that. We go on feeding all that which is perishable. Thoughts, feelings, emotions, actions, everything. Keep feeding. So it remains. If I say no, this BMI is doing, I am a witness. I don't keep adding. After some time the BMI will keep doing. But I am not at all affected, and at some point, even that in samadhi, etc., the perishing world disappears fully. There is nothing to witness there anymore. Oh, Swamiji, it's a state of blank. No, external, that I am separate and this is separate and I am a witness, this is the object, that division gone. Through steady contemplation, my nature is Brahman, I am Uttam Purusha, my nature is Sachidananda. When there is nothing to witness, so these words also that I said are a means to help to come to that state. After that, words also will go, the meaning will go, everything goes. That truth, consciousness alone remains. That is the highest state, where there is no duality of perishing and the imperishable witness, beyond witness also. That is Uttama Purushastu Anyaha, Paramatmeti Udaritaha. Acha, is it there inside me somewhere? No, Bhagavan says it is in you also, but it is that truth which upholds the whole universe. Yo lokatrayam avishya. It has entered into the three lokas. Three lokas symbolic of whole Srishti. Multiverse, if you want to say. What is that truth in my heart? Such a stunning thing, na? Ki Uttama Purusha, that I am. Beyond Akshara Purusha, beyond the witness is my infinite nature as consciousness, because there is nothing to witness. Witness also is reflection of consciousness in the buddhi, pure intellect, which has no, which is highly sattvic, which has no raga and dvesha. The consciousness enlivening that buddhi can remain as a sakshi, because the jiva bhava is very less or gone also. One is just doing duties as per prarabdha, BMI is doing it, but one observes, I am the sakshi. Now, this bhav, if one continues, after a point, nothing is there to be witness of. Like how we say, I am sleeping, I want to sleep, that thought is there, so I have taken identity, I am a sleeper. Then we withdraw from everything. Any job, or any work, anything to be done, no, not now, I have to sleep, I'll think tomorrow. So we withdraw from everything. Then lying on the bed, only I am there as a sleeper. Then that also gone. Gurudev used to say, sucked into sleep. No more duality of I am wanting to sleep, I am the sleeper, I am the observer, I am the witness, nothing. There is only sleep. Same way, this jiva bhav when it goes, sakshi bhav when it goes, then what will happen? Only truth. Uttama Purusha. And that truth is unconditioned, and that is the support of the whole universe. Lokatrayam avishya bibharti avyayam ishwaram. Bibharti avyaya ishwaraha. And that is Ishvara. That is the supreme truth. That's what Bhagavan says. Indestructible, imperishable is that truth in our heart. How wonderful is that? Beyond Sakshi also is our true self. Sakshi is one highest sadhana one can do, is only just be detached observer. Then the observed will disappear fully. Then the observer bhav also will disappear. Like how Gurudev said, if my child has died, then I am no more father. I didn't read that part. So when my children have died or I am dismissed from my job, I know I am no more a father, nor can I anymore claim my erstwhile official dignity. I read, before once I read, So only with reference to that I am this. After that I am not even this witness. With reference to perishable, I am imperishable witness. Another way to explain this is Kshara Purusha is the waking dream ego. Akshara Purusha is the deep sleep ego. Matlab, the waker dreamer disappear in that, but mind is not there in deep sleep, but still the bhav is, one remembers there is absence of everything. So that entity prajna is that Akshara Purusha. But Uttam Purusha is the Turiya, beyond these three, waking, dream, deep sleep, which is a substratum of all the three. That's why Bibharti Avyaya Ishvara is upholds. What upholds? Waking also, dream also, deep sleep also. That is the Turiya Avastha, which is not after waking, dream, deep sleep. It is to say that experiences of waking, dream, deep sleep are not there in that state, but it is the base of all the three. This is the meaning. Uttama Purushastu Anyaha. Paramatma iti udahrita, and that is Paramatma. No limitations in that. In that there is no Jiva, there is no Jagat, there is no Jagadishvara. There is only one consciousness. Paramatma iti udahrita, yo lokatrayam avishya bibhartyavyaya Ishvaraha. And this truth, so I will take 10 minutes more and we will complete this chapter today. This truth, which is Paramatma, is only called as Purushottama. Yasmat ksharamati toham aksharaadapi chottamaha atosmi loke vedecha prathita purushottamaha. Yasmat ksharam atitoham, because I am above the perishable, aksharaadapi cha uttamaha, and beyond the imperishable also, ataha asmi loke, hence in this world as well as in the Veda, by the wise people in the world as well as in the scripture, Vedecha prathita purushottama, I am declared as what? Purushottama, supreme. Please remember, Purushottam doesn't mean supreme amongst men in this context. In some other context it means that. So we say Bhagavan Ram is Maryada Purushottam. Here it doesn't mean human being. Here it means beyond all limitations. Uttama Purusha is Paramatma. Beyond the witness. In that state there is no duality. That is Uttam Purusha. So Purushottamaha. Prasita Purushottama. I am being declared as the Purushottama. Now this Purushottama, whoever realizes, is called Jivan Mukta. And what is the realization of this person? That I am that one Purushottama and there is only one truth. That Jivan Mukta doesn't say that I am realized, you people are deluded. That Jivan Mukta says there is only one Brahman, that's it. If at all one sees the duality, one says this appearance of that one Brahman only. Now this, so 19 and 20, these are the Falashruti, the result of the study of this, or the result of this whole process of realizing my nature as Purushottama, as Paramatma. Yo mam evam sammudhaha janati purushottamam sasarva vidbhajati mam sarva bhavena bharata. Yo mam evam, in this way, whoever knows me as what? Purushottamam, free from all wrong notions, delusions, one who has become very clear and who has now experienced this state. So Janati does not mean intellectually knowing, experienced that state. Janati Purushottamam. Because here knowing and experiencing is same. In Vedanta there is no difference between knowing and experiencing. If there is a gap between knowing and experiencing, that's because the mind is not pure. Otherwise knowing is experiencing. The knowledge itself will make me realize, I am Brahman. Full stop, it will destroy avidya. then there is no separate process to be done. Intuitive knowledge arises when I know the self, that destroys avidya, that only is realization. So Bhagavan says, Yomam evam, in this way only, asammudha, without any delusion, with absolute clarity, janati purushottamam, knows me as a purushottamam. Meaning what? Knows one's own true self to be one with Bhagavan, essentially. Then that person is called Sa-Sarvavit. That person is all-knowing. Why? Because nature of consciousness is omniscience. Bhajati mam, and worships me. The best worship of Bhagavan is to be one with Bhagavan. This Bhajati mam doesn't mean ki separately worshipping. That also Jivan Mukta worships. You see so many Jivan Muktas worshipping in a temple or setting up an ashram, worshipping some altar. Gurudev also set up so many temples. But so that is one meaning, duality standpoint. But what is it saying here? The highest worship is to realize the self, that my nature is that. So Sasarvavit Bhajati Mam Sarva Bhavena Bharata. In all ways, every other puja etc. that we do, retaining Jiva Bhav, they will have limitations. So we say, Bhagavan, please forgive me. Mantra lope, tantra lope, kriya lope, shakti lope, shraddha lope, kala lope, niyama lope, naivedyadi vihita lope cha. All these, flaws may be there in this puja. Please forgive me for all that. Here, sarva bhavena bharata. This Jivan Mukta with his whole being is worshipping Bhagavan, meaning he has become one with Bhagavan. This individuality has disappeared. Salt doll became one with the ocean. Went to measure the ocean, became one with the ocean. He has become the whole ocean. Did not come back to say ocean is this big. No, it became one with that. So that's the worship of the ocean in that sense. Became one. Same way these Jivan Muktas, they realize the truth. And they are the one who actually worship Bhagavan in all ways. Because Bhagavan is Ananta. And the Ananta's worship can happen only by realizing I am Ananta, one with Ananta. The true worship is that. There is a whole composition of Shankaracharya called Para Puja. It is written from this standpoint only. There is only one Brahman. How to realize that one Brahman? And when one realizes like this Jivan Mukta, then what is the state? Every action is a worship of the divine only. For us, every action has to become worship of the divine for Karma Yoga Bhav. To purify our mind. To make us ready for Jnana. These Jivan Muktas, they are acting out of that state of knowledge. Every single action is already rooted in selflessness, egolessness, absolute love and compassion, sarva bhavena. Even if they become angry, upset, it is only to correct that disciple. They have no personal anger, there is no individuality there. So, every single breath and action becomes worship of the divine. For the Jivan Mukta, every single day existence itself is that Bhagavan only is manifest there in that form. So having said this, Bhagavan concludes in this one. Iti guhyatamam shastram idamuktam maya nagha etad buddhva buddhiman syat kritakrityascha bharata. Bhagavan says, O Bharata, this most supreme secret, guhyatamam, iti is conclusion. Thus, all that what he said till now. Guhyatamam shastram, topmost secret of the scripture. Idam uktam maya anagha, O sinless one. Arjuna is called sinless one. Anagha means sinless one. Meaning, O pure-minded Arjun, I have given you the topmost secret of the scriptures. Having known which, etad buddhva buddhiman syat. This person is called buddhiman. So what is the definition of Gita for a buddhiman? Who is called buddhiman? One who has known Paramatma is called buddhiman. One who has known this Uttam Purusha is called buddhiman. And why is that person called buddhiman? Because krita krityascha bharata. That person has done what needs to be done. Having come into human birth, this is what has to be done. If one has known, your job is done. Congratulations, mission accomplished. and you are a wise person. Other people Bhagavan doesn't consider wise. Why? Because you came, squandered away your birth, is what Bhagavan says. Instead of reducing my karma vasanas and doing upasana and then attaining knowledge and getting out of jiva bhav, I acted out of jiva bhav and added more karmic bondage, seed for new births. How is that intelligence? When I could have destroyed all this thing and realized the truth. But obviously everybody won't be able to realize that in the first human life itself. So many lives we take and go through all this process of evolution, get vairagya, go through ups and downs of life, all that will happen. And which is why Bhagavan says this person is asammudha and this person is buddhiman and this person is kritakritya, has come to know the truth. Nothing more remains to be done for that person, has done what needs to be done, satisfied, abiding in absolute bliss, realizing that there is nothing to achieve, nothing to lose, no duality only exists. So where is the question of lose and achieve? This is Jivan Mukta, that person who has realized the truth. So 15th chapter begins with description of samsara, ends with Jivan Mukti. Meaning again that only purpose of this 15th chapter and purpose of this samsara we have come into is to become Jivan Mukta. Is to realize that, and when we do that then we are wise. Now think about it from Bhagwan's standpoint, this is wisdom. And what are we doing? Postponing this, saying abhi nahi, time nahi hai, baad mein dekhenge, retirement mein dekhenge. Youngsters should not be right now encouraged to go to spirituality. They will lose all the energy, enthusiasm for life. All wrong notions. They will become wise. They will have the big picture clear. Then small things doesn't disturb. They know that I have to reach there. Other little things are coming and then one is getting into drugs and depression and suicidal tendencies. Because the buddhi is not educated well, doesn't know the shastra, doesn't know the vision, what is human potential, what I can achieve. I can realize infinity, then what am I running behind? Each one will come to that end in their own way, but this possibility at least one comes to know. And then you see the examples of so many Jivan Mukta Mahatmas, especially Bharat has produced so many of them. Their life itself is such an inspiring life ki my God, how did they live? Look at this. One Gurudev created 75 years of Chinmay movement we are celebrating today. He started alone, individual, 23rd December 1951, gave the first talk and announced that day, 5 people were there in the audience. He announced on that day that from 31st December we will start a 100 days yajna. And there is no turning back after that. 42 years of selfless, committed, dedicated service. Body also, Gurudev literally squeezed the body like a sugar cane. Took out every last drop of it. And he would say that also. Served selflessly. That is this Buddhiman Syat. He went to expose the sadhus and said, I will expose the bluff of the sadhus, and he himself will transform to be a sadhu and share this knowledge with so many people. That is Buddhiman Syat. That is Kritakritya, and so fulfilled. Nothing to achieve. How much one is acting out of security, compassion, out of happiness, not for happiness. That is Buddhiman, Kritakritya. One drops the body also, there is nothing, nowhere to go. Only is living in fulfillment. Tukaram ji said, my death is dead. That is fulfillment. Body anyway is dead only by itself. False identification with it, I think I am going to die. So that is dead, finished. Then body will take its prarabdha, it will drop when it has to drop. Jivan Mukta says, doesn't matter wherever it drops. Like the garland on the cow's neck, it is there. If it is there, it is there. If it drops, it drops. It doesn't bother the cow. Jivan Mukta is like that. That is Buddhiman, Kritakritya. That's why Kabir Das ji says, maro maro to sab kahe, marna na jane koi. Ek baar aisa maro, वापस marna na hoy. That is Kritakritya. Otherwise, every time we are dying, every minute also we are dying, again life ends, body dies, again another body is going on. एक बार ऐसा मरो. Die in one time in such a way that there is no need to die again, which is the death of this ego. Asammudha, what Bhagavan said. Realize my nature is Param Atma. My nature is Purushottama. So that's where we conclude this chapter. Om Tat Saditi Srimad Bhagavad Gitasu Upanishadsu Brahma Vidyayam Yoga Shastre Shri Krishna Arjuna Samvade Purushottama Yogo Nama Panchadashodhyayah Sarvadharman Parityajya Mamekam Sharanam Vraja Aham Tva Sarva Papebhyah Mokshayishyami Ma Shuchaha. So we will chant once again the first shloka symbolically to continue studying this chapter. Om Shri Paramatmane Namaha Atha Panchadashodhyayah Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Urdhva Moolamadha Shakham Ashwatham Prahuravyayam Chandamsi Yasya Parnani Yastam Veda Sa Vedavit. We offer this sadhana at the feet of Bhagavan. Kayena vacha manasendriyairva buddhyatmana va prakrite svabhavat karomi yadyat sakalam parasmai narayanayeti samharpayami. Om Tat Sat Brahmarpanamastu. Om Tat Sat Chinmayarpanamastu. So thank you everyone. It was wonderful to reflect on this 15th chapter with all of you. We will thank all the Yajmans, and our 16th chapter will continue in February. After 1st February, we will continue with the 16th chapter. If you have not yet registered for the Hanuman Havan, please do register for it immediately. 1st February is that program, and 9 to 2, 108 Havan Kunds, 21 times chanting. Please spread the word, inspire maximum people, collectively come together, we chant Hanuman Chalisa, do satsang, meditate. So many sadhanas are there to be done there, and empower ourselves. Our vision is chant Mumbai, Shant Mumbai. Mumbai comes together, chants, feel the presence, power of Hanumanji. So please do register quickly, because arrangements have to be made. People, if they decide last minute, then we have a lot of difficulty. So do register. So we thank all our Yajmans, the Mukhya Yajmans, for the whole series. अजय कसोटिया जी, तराना खूबचंदानी जी, कल्पना मोरपारिया जी, पराग वाघ, अजय मर्चेंट जी, भरत खन्ना जी, दीपिका बख्शी जी, वंदना जगवानी जी. Gita Arti Yajmans for all the sessions: Vinu Munshi ji, Dipti Gandhi ji, Jyotsna Nevatia ji, Rashmi Anand ji, Rajan Saxena ji, Vipul Dalal ji, Hemant Kumar Ruya ji, Nalini Kaya ji, and Sudhir Merchant ji. The Dainik Yajman for today: Venugopal ji, Sohail Gandhi, Minal Pujara ji, Vaishali Sanghvi ji, हेम ठाकुरे जी, वीणा चटलानी जी, शांति राजन जी, चिन्मय मोरे जी, द्रुपद महादेविया जी, श्याम केंकरे जी, शशि बिनानी जी, गीतिका वत्स, मनीषा अगस्कर, जय श्री रामकृष्णन, and Vivek Shroff ji. And Aarti Yajman for today: Urvashi Thakur ji, Vatsala Rao ji, Manisha Agaskar ji, and Shyam Kenkare ji. So we invoke Bhagwan's grace, Gurudev's blessings on all of them and their families and all the Yajmans present here. May Bhagwan bless us to realize the Uttama Purusha, to realize the absolute self and help us to be really buddhiman in life and to be fulfilled, to experience kritakrityata. Om Tat Sat. Jai Shri Krishna.
ॐ जय भगवद्गीते मैया जय भगवद्गीते हरिया कमल विहारिणि सुन्दर सुपुनीते ॐ जय भगवद्गीते कर्म सुमर्म प्रकाशिनि कामासक्तिहरा तत्त्वज्ञानविकाशिनि विद्या ब्रह्मपरा ॐ जय भगवद्गीते निश्चलभक्तिविधायिनि निर्मलमलहारिणि शरणरहस्यप्रदायिनि सबविधि सुखकारी ॐ जय भगवद्गीते रागद्वेषविदारिणि कारिणि मोद सदा भवभयहारिणि तारिणि परमानन्दप्रदा ॐ जय भगवद्गीते आसुरभावविनाशिनि नाशिनि तमरजनि दैवी सद्गुणदायिनि हरिरसिका सजनी ॐ जय भगवद्गीते समता त्याग सिखावनी हरिमुख की बानी सकल शास्त्र की स्वामिनी श्रुतियों की रानी ॐ जय भगवद्गीते दया सुधा बरसावनी मातु कृपा की जय हरि पद प्रेम दान कर अपनों कर लीजय ॐ जय भगवद्गीते ॐ जय भगवद्गीते मैया जय भगवद्गीते हरिया कमल विहारिणि सुन्दर सुपुनीते ॐ जय भगवद्गीते ॐ जय भगवद्गीते ॐ जय भगवद्गीते बोलिए गीता मैया की जय।
बोलिए श्री कृष्ण चंद्र भगवान की जय, श्री सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय। ओम पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ओम शांति शांति शांति। हरि ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरि ओम।